Hi there, this is Nova. Welcome to the May 2015 Tip of the Month. I want to visit with you today about several things that are regular maintaining issues with your Singer Featherweight, things that need regular attention. And this machine was on my workbench and it's just a great example. If you can listen, and I'm going to be quiet so you can listen to what happens when I turn the hand wheel. That noise is your featherweight telling you that you need to give it some attention. It's coming from down here under the needle plate, and we're going to remove that and learn how to clean that properly and put it back together properly so your machine will sew. If you'll listen to your machine, it'll tell you when it needs help. And it's not unusual for my machine to make that kind of noise if I've been quilting with it after a day of using batting in my quilting sandwich, because that batting gets carried up underneath that needle plate in that feed dog area. So we're going to disassemble that, and if you have trouble disassembling it, I would recommend this little screwdriver. It is kind of expensive because I have to buy it from Europe. It is imported from Europe. The difference between this particular screwdriver and the one that you can just go to the hardware store and buy that's offset like this is called an offset screwdriver, is that the ones from the hardware store, this blade is too thick to get into these screws. So that's why I import these from Europe, and these are available on my website. But you simply put that in and then begin to rotate it. And once you get it started, it's quite easy. It's the beginning of it that is difficult. And you can get it in there. There we go. And you can get those screws out that way. Once they're open, not stuck anymore, then you can take a regular screwdriver. This is an original Singer Featherweight screwdriver. It came with the machine. I do carry these on my website as well. You can get this out. Okay, just finishing removing these screws. And now I'm going to lift up from the underneath and lift the needle plate out. Once the needle plate is out, I want to take my syringe with kerosene and clean in these springs very well. Now look what is making that crunching noise. I'm going to zoom in so you can see this. Can you see what was making the crunching noise? All of this lint, there's basically a felt pad that's been created here by lint and dust getting caught. That's just huge. That's what was making the crunching noise on this machine. All in the world that was wrong with it was dirty. So we need to clean all of that out and take our kerosene syringe and wash it out well. While I'm here and have the needle plate off, I want to clean this track where the needle plate sits. That also gets lint and things built up in it and will cause the needle plate to ride high, which can cause you difficulties if you're trying to use my Sew Straight guide or other attachments with your featherweight. So we want to clean all this up. Okay, now I have completely cleaned in this entire area here where these feed dogs are, and I have put a drop of oil in the appropriate places. You'll find that on my Singer Featherweight maintenance card. And it's time to replace the needle plate back into its position there. The needle plate will not go back in position if the bed extension is up. The bed extension must be down. Very common issue that I have that comes into my repair shop. People thinking that they have ruined their machine or that there's something terribly wrong with their machine. I also get many emails about this a month. Is that they simply put this on like that and replace the screws. Let me show you what's going on underneath here when you just clap that on. This little piece right here is called a positioning finger. This is the bobbin case carriage with this spindle on it, and that little thing that sticks out is the positioning finger. If you simply put the needle plate back on like I just did, and this positioning finger has the opportunity to rotate, your Singer Featherweight is not going to sew. It must be caught in the groove on the underside of the needle plate. So we're going to take the needle plate back off, and we're going to always make sure that the thread uptake lever is in its highest position all the way up. And now we're going to position this positioning finger to where it is pointed at 12 o'clock, straight up. Okay, with that at 12 o'clock, straight up, now I'm going to put down the bed extension, and now I'm going to put the needle plate back into place. Always check to make certain that that finger is caught in that groove right there. That will save you lots of frustration, lots of trouble, and you won't have to remove those screws again. The screws are a little bit difficult to get out. They take a little bit of time, so if you'll check it before you replace the screws, you'll be in good shape. Now let me show you something else that I do. If I'm sewing and I'm trying to finish a project and I hear those crunching noises, and again, lint does build up quickly, especially if you're using your machine to quilt with. If you take the original lint brush, and I do sell these on my website, I've got original lint brushes, so they're not brand new, they've been used, they should be a little bit dirty. But if you're sewing along and you hear that crunching, you can dampen your lint brush with kerosene, just a little bit of kerosene on it. I just did that with my syringe, and you can simply go up in there, and I'm holding the needle plate down because I haven't replaced those screws, but yours would be screwed down if you are sewing that day. And you can just simply get in there like that, and you'll remove a vast majority of that lint. I do recommend that you go ahead when you're completed that day and service your machine well. Anytime you finish a major project or a intensive day of sewing, it's a good idea to go ahead and take care of your machine. But that'll save you some time and save your machine a little bit of wear and tear with all that lint built up, and stop those crunching noises. This particular thing about the positioning finger, as I've already stated, is a very common issue that I see come into my workshop a lot, and I get multiple emails about it every month. That's why I chose to highlight that particular issue on my Singer Featherweight troubleshooting card. And you can see right there that it shows you very clearly with a full color photograph and reminds you that that positioning finger must be upright at the 12 o'clock position when you put on that needle plate. I hope you find this helpful. Happy stitching!